wandering wall marched leagues with its fellows, and came upon a monk. Asked where they were going, they said, to where the people need protecting. The monk smiled gently, and when a wall asked what was so funny, they said, "You will never cease to wander then, for walls divide, creating an illusion of us and them, while the truth endures that we are all connected, collections of portions of the same star." What a useless monk, the walls muttered, while they wandered afar, until at last they came to a field full of people, and food, and fanfare, and instruments, and asked, "Do you need protection?" To which the people replied, "From what?" and laughed, and said, "We need more people to hear and see and feel the music." "These people are crazy," one wall said, but another laid itself down flat and said, "I'm tired. I will lie here for a bit and feel the music." And others settled in beside it, and the musicians, seeing this, climbed on top of them, and the feet and the music tickled their surfaces, and the walls felt joy. Then all the other walls joined, even the one who had doubted, and they staged a festival to which throngs of people came by the thousands, with music, more joy in music every year, and they stayed so long the grasses grew up between them, and even trees here and there, so that their hot brick bodies were cool and shaded in the summer air, and they understood somewhat of what the monk had said. And one night in a winter, beneath the quiet blankets of snow, one whispered, "I think we have made very fine walls after all." "Aye," came a soft response, then again, and over, and each to a wall was content. And when their bodies began to crumble, disintegrate, and turn to the earth again, or fly off as dust in the wind, not one star portion was saddened, not one grain felt grief or loss, only emancipation from division, as the count of walls ascended to millions of new astral connections. That's called The Wandering Walls. A little poem to start this time. Good Sunday morning. I've got my morning customary coffee as opposed to my normal customary beer. KH to C, hello. If you can share this, I might have a chance at getting more people. I don't know. It doesn't seem like people necessarily know I'm on. I guess I'm being Lorenzo's bridesmaid today. Yeah. When is he on again? Is it? I don't know his schedule. I know the days he's on, but I don't know the times. He usually comes on in the afternoon because I think that's night for him. And the last time I saw him on a Sunday, it was maybe at 1. That's my guess. I don't know. If he comes on, let me know, and I'll just shut this down. I don't like overlap. 1 p.m. Perfect. Okay. I got lots of time. Oh, the clouds, they lower down now, and the rain gets into the boats, and the river, it runs a little faster. Angels come to claim their own. Though the years pass by regardless, and the seasons all have their due. They await me round the bend out to take me away, to take me to be with you. Winter we bet in the hay shoes and waited out the drive in the snow. But when you fell to sickness, there was no warmth to save your soul. Though the years pass by regardless, and the seasons all have their due, they await me round the bend out to take me away, take me to be with you. They await me round the bend out to take me away, out to take me to be with you. Good morning, Heather. I hope you're well rested. I am not well rested. I was up till the wee hours last night and just couldn't sleep, but I wrote that poem that I read at the beginning, so I got that going for me. Gotta make sure I can actually see all the comments when you make them. Facebook's comments on the left side doesn't auto scroll, so I have to manually scroll down just to see what you're saying. That's okay though. Song number 2 called Sleight of Hand. Playing pretty mellow stuff this morning. It's Sunday morning. I'm sleepy. You know. Not gospel though. Maybe slightly. But this is an original called Sleight of Hand. She was a gambler. Yeah, she had a horseshoe. Said she didn't earn her money, but when you're always drawing aces, what's the difference? I was a player. I kept my tip wet, and I knew I wouldn't win no one, but fun was always enough for the moment. Sleight of hand, sleight of hand. What's the profit in that? Sleight of hand, sleight of hand. Where was our conscience? She went to Hamburg, World Series of Poker. Got busted for some scam she ran with 4 of the game's best and never recovered. I was a loser, dead broke and jobless, and no blowjob in an alley could suck away the pain deep in my belly. Sleight of hand, sleight of hand. What's the profit in that? Sleight of hand, sleight of hand. Where was our conscience? I found it. I found you. I found me, and then you found it. You found you. You found me, and then we found it. We found us. We found we, and then sleight of hand, sleight of hand. We made our peace with the past. Then we were familiar. We got an apartment. Said we didn't believe in marriage, let alone children. But then we had 'em. A romantic song. It is a romantic song. I write a few songs about sort of people who screw up and then they get vindicated. They turn their lives around, or just like nice things happening to people of misfortune. I like that as a theme too. But the blowjob in the alley was not the romantic part of that song. That's for sure. that was the rock bottom point. You don't know Miles from Nowhere. Well, there you go. See, I don't know. I gravitate towards songs that are not the really well-known ones for whatever reason. Like I play It Makes No Difference by the band and not The Weight or, one of those big band hits. You may know this one though. Well, baseball was starting. The Warriors were closing in on the Bulls 72-10. The Dodgers still hadn't figured out Yazzie or Puig. They were batting him second again. Well, protest songs were on everybody's mind. Where have all the protest singers gone? But protest comes from the basement and the streets, not the 7 times an hour pop song. Yeah, I love you more than I can say. I want to spend with you all the hours, my days. And if our time's cut short for any reason, breathe through the days and the nights of the seasons. I'll be with you everyone was talking about Trump, 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 the charismatic bully millionaire. And sometimes I was up in arms and wanted to make speeches, and sometimes I didn't care. And I talked to my neighbors, and I talked to my friends. I talked to the cards like they were 8-year-old boys, and said, if our time for any reason is small, walk strong through the kingdoms and the mountains and the halls, and I'll be with you, even as the sun and the earth and the moon and the sweet by and by shoot fireballs through the sky. Ooh, fields of green. Oh, will pour me another glass of gasoline. The wolves are panhandling by the exits to the freeway. Would you have $1 or $2 to give? And I was trying to make the difficult transition to a new thing and immediately make it lucrative. Children had taken to wandering the streets. They'd stop and bow their heads till you'd kiss them. And miracles were everywhere, but always in the little things. If you sneezed or blinked or coughed, you'd miss them. Oh, I love you more than there are days. I try to remember to wake up and give praise. And if our time is cut short for any reason, breathe through the days and the nights of the seasons. I'll be with you, even as the sun and the earth and the moon and all the galaxies slowly turn around. Oh, I'll be with you, even as the sun and the earth and the moon and all the galaxies slowly turn around. That was some guy, I don't know, some random guy that some of you may know. He's written a few songs here and there, but he's not really famous, you know. I mean, like a lot of people have covered his songs, I guess, and yeah, he wrote songs for movies, and he's got this really dedicated fan club. They're like really into him. I don't know if you know this, but they really like him. Anyway, that song's called "Slowly Turn Around" by a fellow named Dan Bern, who I'm sure you all know. Since I think 100% of the people in here right now are Dan Bern fans, so there's that. Yeah, that song's a nice one. He's written, you know, a few thousand songs. Yeah. I just left out the 1,000 part. I mean, it's implied, right? You know, when you say a few songs, it means a few thousand. Detook. I don't know if I'm gonna detook Melody because I haven't had a shower yet. I just woke up and got my coffee and started doing this. So my hair is a colossal mess. A pit stop for gas. Nice. 110%. He's growing on me. Nice, Gina. I will admit, when I first heard Dan, it took me a bit to get used to his voice. And now I'm used to it, and it's great. It's like mustard, you know? Now it's like this welcome, welcome thing to my ears. Well, you all know. Sung by Fred Eaglesmith. There we go. Night time's falling on the Summerlea, supper's getting cold. It's the second time in as many weeks that he hasn't shown. He's probably chasing some old steer across some prairie storm. And when she asks him, he'll just shrug, say that's the way things go. But he only gets into town twice a month, and he gets out as fast as he can. And he don't have a phone, so she can't call him up. She never knows where he is. He smells like horses, and he chews tobacco, and he cusses and he spits. She's been in love a couple times before, but never quite like next month it'll be those damned old rodeos and fairs. And he'll be gone for 6 weeks straight, to God only knows where. And he won't win any money, and worse than that, he won't care. And when she asks him, he'll just smile. He had a real good time out there. But he only gets into town twice a month, and he gets out as fast as he can. And he don't have a phone, so she can't call him up. She never knows where he is. He smells like horses, and he chews tobacco, and he cusses and he spits. She's been in love a couple times before, but never quite like. Well, he stops his horse to get a light, and the water pours off his hat. He's been out in the storm most of the night, and he ought to be getting back. He's been thinking about the color of her hair and the touch of her skin, and the way she quietly smiles whenever she looks at him. But he only gets into town twice a month, and he gets out as fast as he can. And she don't have a phone, so he can't call her up, and he never knows where she is. She smells like flowers and perfume and tobacco and gin. He's been in love a couple times before, never quite like this. He's been in love a couple times before, never quite like this. Nighttime's falling on Summerlea, and supper's getting cold. That's Summerlea by Fred Eaglesmith, which I maintain to my ears and sensibility with lyrics and all that, that's the most beautiful love song I've heard to date. Favorite Fred songs. There you go, Dina. That's a lady with taste. His voice is like mustard. It's his gestalt. Yeah, exactly. Whoa, Melody, a long comment. Whoa. Now I gotta read. It is a very special and giving thing, for sure. I feel that way about Billy Collins too. I mean, that guy's poet laureate, and he for a while there he was coming on every weekday. That's amazing, you know. There's good people being very generous with their time. I mean, I think there's another aspect to it too, is that performers ache to perform, and I think a lot of the people who came online to perform were people who recognized that ache in themselves, that need to share with people, and they found a way. They found a technical way to do it. Not all of them did, but yeah, a few people, well, more than a few, obviously, tons of people put the work in to figure out things like OBS and how streaming even worked, and bought new gear and all this kind of stuff so that they could share with people still, because that's the lifeblood, Yeah. Yeah. Roy, hello, my friend. I'm so sorry I missed your show last night, Roy. I was physically just not in a good spot last night, feeling really rough. And I slept horribly, but here I am just because. This song seems perfect to play after Summerlea. My goodness. You might recognize this one. Sup. How does my guitar go out of tune playing Summerlea? That's weird. It's always that E string. Good, I'm glad you had a good audience. I figured you might have a few more with two of you doing it. It doubles the amount of connections, All right, here we go. Suzanne takes you down to a place by the river. You can hear the boats go by. You can spend the night beside her, and you know that she's half crazed, and that's why you want to be there. And she feeds you tea and oranges that come all the way from China. And just when you mean to tell her that you have no love to give her, she gets you on her wavelength and lets the river answer that you've always been her lover. And you want to travel with her, and you want to travel blind, and you know that you can trust her, for you've touched her perfect body with your mind. And Jesus was a sailor when he walked upon the water, and he spent a long time watching from a lonely wooden tower. And when he knew for certain only drowning men could see him, he said, all men shall be brothers then, until the sea shall free them. But he himself was broken long before the sky would open. Forsaken, almost human, he sank beneath your wisdom like a stone. And you want to travel with him, and you want to travel blind, and you think maybe you'll trust him, for he's touched your perfect body with his mind. Suzanne takes your hand and she leads you to the river. She's wearing rags and flowers from Salvation Army canters, and the sun pours down like honey on Our Lady of the Harbor. And she shows you where to look amid the garbage and the flowers. There are heroes in the seaweed, there are children in the morning. They are leaning out for love, and they'll lean that way forever while Suzanne holds the mirror. And you want to travel with her, and you want to travel blind, and you know that you can trust her, for you've touched her perfect body with your mind. That was Suzanne by Leonard Cohen. Played a few songs by the fire. Wonderful. Wonderful. And if you're really into music, right before that May Day and Feeney celebration, Peter Mika from Montreal plays wonderful old-time piano tunes, like Ragtime, and I'll probably share it to my my profile, because I usually do if I manage to catch him. But he plays at 7 p.m. and wraps up by 8, so there you go. And he dazzles me every time he plays. He's got such a grace on the piano, but like this powerful grace that's just really, really fun. There you go. Melody's got the hook up to him there. Thank you, Melody. All right. Original tune. Joe had a woman that he could count on when he got lonely and he needed someone. She was a widow from 31 on. She didn't mind a little loving for fun from a man who was on the road. She kept a distance while keeping him close. The sex was hot and she was the host. She had the upper hand and liked it that way. Said, Joe, don't you fall for me, 'cause I swear I'll break your heart in 2 or 3. He used to come around on Saturday nights. She used to wait for him with sugar pie in the oven. But she never felt love till one week he didn't show it all. She told herself that she was getting soft, that she was an island, that she was a rock. Then she cried. Who was she kidding? For weeks now she'd been counting down the days. Well, time passed by and he never showed, and she went back to the loneliness that she'd known before him. But she didn't mind. So much of love is just wasting time. She started writing and she learned to ski. She got a dog and lived quite happily without him. Thank you very much. But on Saturday nights, well, she missed his touch. So one night, for old time's sake, she baked a pie, and the smell went out the window and into the sky, and it drifted on the wind out onto the highway and in through the vent of the truck Joe was driving. And he knew he didn't have much time. You see, that pie was calling for every man who ever knew a woman who needed a man, and he'd needed her since the day they'd met, and had only been wishing that she needed him back. And now he knew that she did. He arrived to a crowd at her front door, calling out for pie like amorous vultures. He snuck round her house to her back door and knocked 3 times softly like he used to before. Knock, knock, knock. She heard the sound and her heart exploded, rushed to the back door with her loving lips loaded, opened up the door and had a perfect moment. They kissed each other, neither kissed the other. And deep in the morning, as the sun was rising, shining on the sheets of their love-making, no finer light ever shone from above than the light that shone for long-fated love. No finer light ever shines from above than the light that shines for long-fated love. No finer light ever shines from above than the light that shines for long-fated love. Thank you, Jan. That song's called The Light of Saturday Pie, and I now that song is actually available on Bandcamp. I put up my old live album called West of Eden that I recorded in 2005, and so that song is on that album. In case you're interested in it, I will put a link to it in the aftermath, as usual. I think I need to refill my coffee, and so I'll take a short break, and when I come back, I think I'll do the great reveal. I'll take the toque off and make all you people go crazy. Oh, that's good coffee. Oh, my Lord, that's good coffee right there, I tell you, oh boy. Lord, tender and Jesus, what a good coffee. You'll have to make a new sketch. No, you won't, because it's really greasy and gross right now, but it's the same length. This is my, wow, what a mess. This is me with unshowered hair. Just, that's okay. It makes me look like a mad genius. Oh, that's just ridiculous. You can make a new sketch of me with this insane mop. Yeah, like the professor comes into your class and like he's wearing the same jacket with the leather elbows, that he wears every day, and that thing probably smells like old pipe smoke and him, and like his hair is always crazy because he's too busy thinking to wash. Yes, too busy thinking to wash. That coffee's top shelf. We love it. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's pretty good coffee. I gotta say. Yeah, I would have it again. I would. Yeah, it's true. This is another Fred Eaglesmith tune off the same album. It's my favorite album. If you're gonna buy a Fred Eaglesmith album, get Things Is Changin'. It's such a beautiful tune, or beautiful album with like. Pre-warning though, they're all downers. It's like 10 or 11, I think, downers in a row, but they're beautiful. Just, yeah, gorgeous stuff. All right, here we go. Nice, Jan. There you go. Caged to see I was not ragging on those jackets with the leather patches. They're great, unless they smell like ages of pipe tobacco and a human who doesn't wash enough. And it's not really the jacket. It's how the jacket is treated. Things is changing, and not the same anymore. Things is changing. They're not the way they was before, when the wind would blow. And there was bound to be a storm, and now it's blowing in all directions. Only one thing's for sure, things is changing. You pray for rain, sit on the porch and watch it fall, but it doesn't really matter to anybody anymore. You buy your bread at the bakery and your beer at the liquor store, and the preacher screams from the TV screen, believe in the Lord, all things has changed. Things is changing. You can't get a job, couldn't buy a job to save your life, so you go down to some kitchen just like in 1935. You got a couple of children and a tear-stained wife, and you ain't trying to get ahead, no, you're just trying to get by, 'cause things has changed. Things has changed. Harold Wilson is my name, son, why don't you sit a spell? I live right here on Ferguson Road at the Paradise Motel. And though you do not know me, there's a story I'd like to tell. It's a story that I'm sure you know well. It's a story that I'm sure you know well. Well, I had me a place on Thunder Ridge in a doomsday shack. My wife had left and took the kids a couple of years back, and I spend most of my mornings thinking about that, and my afternoons trying to figure out what to plant. I spend my afternoons trying to figure out what to plant. Did you ever try to farm a farm with a pick and a shovel? Tried to put a field in the corn, just wouldn't grow nothing. Staring down across the town, you wonder why even bother. When up the road there's a vacant room with climate control and color. You could stay there by the month for $100. You could stay there by the month for $100. Now there wasn't money in corn, there wasn't money in beans. I took my telephone, shut off my electricity. Then a letter came in the mail saying there's taxes owed by me. If I was ever gonna pay, well, I had 3 weeks. If I was ever gonna pay, well, I had 3 weeks. Did you ever try to farm a farm with a pick and a shovel? Tried to put a field in the corn, just wouldn't grow nothing. Staring down across the town, you wonder why you even bother. When up the road there's a vacant room with climate control and color. You could stay there by the month for $100. You could stay there by the month for $100. Well, they sold that farm to some old fool for 10 cents on the dollar. Saw him out there last week. I was on the way to visit my daughter, and that son of a gun was out there trying to hook a windmill up to water. When he heard me laugh, he turned, and I swear he hollered. When he heard me laugh, he turned, and I swear he hollered. Did you ever try to farm a farm with a pick and a shovel? Tried to put a field in the corn, just wouldn't grow nothing. Staring down across the town, you wonder why you even bother. When up the road there's a vacant room with climate control and color. You could stay there by the month for $100. You could stay there by the month for $100. Now those government checks come down the pike as regular as rain. Now I sit outside most every night, except when the June bugs drive me in. Harold Wilson is my name, son. Why don't you sit a spell? I live right here at the Ferguson Road, at the Paradise Motel. That was actually two songs that on that album they're blended together, made into a medley. Things is Changin' and Harold Wilson by Fred Eaglesmith. Dina, yeah, I don't know. Fred's got some ability to see the hilarity in life, but also I think he's got a deep soul. He's a weird character. I mean, I say that, but my shows were always like that too. I mean, I have my really silly, funny tunes, and then I just have my tearjerkers, and it just seems to be a thing. I don't know why. Maybe we're just extreme characters, you know, on this roller coaster of life. I think it's time for another poem. You probably all missed the first one, the poem from Off the Top. But I'll give you one now. KH to see, nice. $100 a month motel being named Paradise, yes. You can picture it in your head really easily, eh? Like the really crappy sign, the like orange doors all in a row. Yeah, it ain't a pretty place. So here we go, a short little poem called Capsicum Days. Over the capsicum wave, they called it, when the sweat began to cool on the brow and the salt collect in the cracks of the face, or at the sides of snail trails down the spine, the chest, the cheek, the inner thigh. And 5 o'clock rang, hanging heavy around the village sky. You'd reach your hand out, limp, fingers desperate and delicate, walking on the desiccated skin on the top of my exhausted hand. Te quiero, you'd say. Is it time for chocolate? My head would swivel and swirl, slowly acquiescing to the change, and I'd open my eyes, see your face smiling, and say, "Is it not always?" And you would rise, and I would watch, and our Capsicum evening would commence. There you go. A short little poem about Capsicum. What I love are the hotels that advertise clean rooms. Like it's a notable quality of the establishment. We have clean rooms. Don't you want to stay here now? I love the ones that say pool, and the pool is out front, and you can tell it's like it's got animals living in it. That's always hilarious. The new management is always it's got to be great, right? Because it's new. Okay, this is a song, another original here. One that I really need to record sooner than later. Hey, thanks for stopping in, Jay Bird. You're very welcome. I'm sure I'll be seeing you soon on Twitch with your streams. What is the phrase? Mikase sukasa? I think that's it. That's how I feel with our streams. All right, here we go. This is called This Is Migration. I came here in 19, a greenback from Norway, hunger for land and a farm of my own. I crossed on a steamer, landed in Quebec, and I swear on my life I'd never seen so much snow. Another ship to Toronto, a rail car to the Huron. Well, some sailed to Chicago then, but we went north, up to Fort William. Then we hired a guide who took us through nothing but swamps and lakes and forests. This is migration, the truth of existence. It's a creek with fresh water, a tree to tip in the spring. And this is the break-in, my wife is underground now. And this is the cabin that I built by myself for free. Sinking in the mud, trenches etched out on their bottoms, walking on their sides not to scream out in pain. My baby's in my arms, she's been silent for 3 days, and I haven't dared to check her, 'cause I don't wanna see. But this is migration, the truth of existence. It's a creek with fresh water, a tree tip in spring, and this is the break-in, my wife is underground. This is the cabin that I built by myself for free. Now I live in this cabin, built with my own 2 hands, one of a dozen Norsemen settled down in Rupert's Land. I sow my crops and I set my fur traps and trade for provisions from Hudson's Bay or Northwest. And while they argue about prices and dominions, cheat the natives, and worry about the states. I will subsist here until my body gives out, then I'll lie down in a field and they can grow food out of me. 'Cause this is migration, the truth of existence. It's a creek with fresh water, a tree to tap in the spring. And this is the breaking, my wife is underground now. This is the cabin that I built by myself. This is migration, the truth of existence. It's a creek with fresh water, a tree to tap in the spring. And this is the breaking, my wife is underground now. And this is the cabin that I built by myself. For three. That's called This Is Migration. An original tune. How's everybody hanging in? I'm almost out of coffee. That's very sad. I think we're honing in on the end of this. But maybe a couple more. Maybe just a couple more, and that'll get you close to Lorenzo. Oh, blood. Okay. Start that over. Shaft of light getting by your curtain tickles my eyelids like a caterpillar cupid. Open them up and see your cheeks and your lips there. Give you a little kiss and I think I'll linger, 'cause it's not every day that you know you're in love. It's not every day that you get the good stuff. So I lay here in the light with the sight of you sleeping and thank my lucky stars that I'm living this moment. Oh, stay with me. I believe things will always be this lovely, this lovely. Oh, stay with me. I believe things will always be this lovely, this lovely. You open up your eyes and say, give me a kiss. I taste your lips and I sit with it, breathe with it. Your hand on my neck like an old warm blanket you can't throw away, 'cause you're too nostalgic. I'll make us coffee, I say as I'm rising. You tug my arm and say, come back quick. And you look so lovely that I almost don't need it, but it's coffee, I love it, and it only takes a minute. Oh, stay with me. I believe things will always be this lovely, this lovely. Stay with me. I believe things will always be this lovely, this lovely. Ooh, doo, 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 da, 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 da. Well, the coffee is finished, I bring it upstairs. You're lying on the blankets in your underwear, and the window's open, and the morning air is coursing across your skin as you bathe in it. You're a wonder, I say, as I hand you a mug. You're my lover, you say, and you give me a hug. And that's all she wrote, yeah, that's all she said. Some moments are perfect and can carry you forward. Oh, stay with me, I believe things will always be this lovely, this lovely. Oh, stay with me, I believe things will always be this lovely, this lovely. Stay with me, I believe things will always be this lovely. Stay with me, I believe things will always be this lovely, this lovely. That's an original called This Lovely. Oh, I'm glad you liked This Is Migration, KH2C. It's one of my favorite ones that I've written. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy Lorenzo in 20 minutes. I'll probably see you there. Take care, everyone.